Hey folks, John with Alternate Arms, your friend in less lethal self-defense. I told you how hard it was to keep from telling you guys about something. Do you guys remember that? I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. This is a box of exactly what I was telling you. It was hard to keep a secret. Let's check this out. Now guys, in this line of work, you guys know I have a lot of the people that I deal with on a daily basis that really count on me for discretion, right? So whenever we get new launchers in that are not going to release yet, typically speaking, I'm under an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement, so you don't talk about it, don't show it, don't give any indication that it exists, and that's what I do. That's how you maintain the respect and the trust between companies and yourself. So this, on the other hand, has been killing me. So I am cautiously optimistic about this one. I have seen it in pictures. I have seen it in flyers. I have talked about it in conversations and on meetings, but today we see it together. This is a box of 3 of what you're going to see today, of which I have 20 boxes just like it for you. Check this out. You ready? Okay, and yes, there are 2 more in here for those who are wondering. Now, by the time you guys see this, before we even get into this, yes, this will be up on the website. So you'll be able to get it on the website as soon as this drops. And you'll notice this video is going to drop at a very strange time. Well, there's a reason for that. We'll talk about it later. So this is the P2P Secure 68P by Umarex. Guys, this is a 68 caliber launcher that is what I would like to think the spiritual successor to, say, the HTP 50, which we all know has been a fantastic launcher its entire run. We've never had a problem with it. I want to look at this though, because I've heard this does a few things that none of the other ones have ever done, one of which I'm actually kind of curious to hear how the competition is going to view it. I'm just saying. All right, so let's take off this cool paper. Oh, wow, guys. So this is cool. Look here. I'm going to show Stumpy this. So this is the one that actually wraps around it. As you can see, you've got all of your basic information on it, what it looks like, so on and so forth. But on the back, it looks like you've actually got more, including instructions on how to load, unload, gas, and degas. And all of that is what makes this special. This is every possible improvement over an HTP 50 that you could possibly have. Check this out. All right, I got to crack her open. Oh, nice and zip tied. See, I told you guys I didn't prepare for this. We're doing it together. All right, and first of all, case, guys. This is one of those semi-rigid cases. Really, really nice. Check that out. All right, cracking it open together. Unzipping here. Make sure Stumpy's got you in frame here. I want you to see all this with me here, guys. All right. And dun, 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 dun. Check it out. Now guys, if you're thinking the same thing I am, which is that looks like an HTP 50, but a little teeny bit taller on the top, you'd be correct, because that's exactly what I see in it as well. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. This is heavy, and I mean heavy. An HTP 50 is light. You guys remember that. Even with the speed loader attached to it, this is still a very light launcher, okay? Let's check this out. I'm going to weigh it. That's why I'm going to set that over here next to it. Oh, guys, that has got some bulk to it. It really does. Now, this has a couple of other very, very, very cool features that we've never had before in this type of launcher. Number one, remember how you load the HTP 50 from the bottom, hence the speed loader. On this one, you've got dual side, you ready? Magazine releases. Check this out. Hit this button right here, and it drops the magazine. Now guys, this is 68 caliber, and this magazine is aluminum, solid aluminum. It is very, very heavy. So it's not plastic, it's not some sort of cheap monkey metal, it's actually aluminum. This is a huge upgrade. Now that's the first thing that is upgraded on this. You still have, as you guys can see, your trigger guard safety on here, which is pretty normal for the HTP 50. But what isn't normal for the HTP 50? If you'll notice on your magazine, guys, on the back, you've got what looks like a little triangular shaped key. Anybody want to guess what that's for? triangular shaped key goes in the front and unthreads. What does this look like, guys? Unthreads the front to expose the CO2 chamber. Guys, are you seeing where we're going here yet? Standard 12 gram CO2 cartridges, right? Nozzle down into it. Screw this on. Now you may be asking yourself, but how do we puncture it? Funny you should ask. And that is, in my opinion, one of the best updates on this particular launcher. So we're going to thread that down. We're going to use this to secure it. This, like the Berna, is a pull to pierce. In other words, you pull the trigger the first time, pierces and fires the first round. Sound familiar? Now, what doesn't sound familiar, guys, and this is where this gets crazy cool. If you look at the design of this, you're going to notice something else that's really cool when you turn it around. See the back? That's a hammer. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, every single time the hammer comes back and strikes, it's going to open up the valve to release the air. That means that that hammer, when you pull this the first time, is going to go back, strike, and pierce at the same time. Which makes me wonder, is there any reason you could not leave the hammer back, unpunctured, and carry it like you would a regular firearm? Because that's the way I would normally carry it, with your hammer back. Well, there's no reason you couldn't, and we're going to go into that when we go in here and do the test firing in just a minute. Now, before we do that, let me get the weights for you, because this is going to make a difference on this launcher, guys. All right, I had to steal my batteries out of here. I was thieving them out of my little scale the other day and forgot to put them back in, so hang on one second here. But you'll be happy to know that the Chrono has fresh batteries, so we're good there. Okay, so the HTP50 with the speed loader. So this is about as heavy as it's going to get right now. One CO2 speed loader, that's it. That is going to weigh in at 1 pound, 8.8 ounces. All right, I'll show Stumpy that so you guys can see that. All right, so the new Secure 68. Now this is not loaded with 68 caliber rounds, and you know that's going to add a lot of weight to this, guys, because if you're firing like the Gladiators, or you know anything from well, anything, Glen Conti's rounds, anything, they're heavy and they're going to add a lot of weight to it. But just like this, you're weighing in at 1 pound, 13 ounces. So 1 pound, 13 ounces versus 1 pound, 8 ounces. So it is 5 ounces heavier, or almost half a pound, close to half a pound heavier. And that is unloaded. So now you know that if you're firing this, you're going to fire 3 gram rounds on average. This can fire all the way up to probably 7, 8 grams without a problem. But we're going to test it using the rounds that they sent. That way we stay kind of in their guidelines. So yeah. Now in the box here, guys, you will also notice this kit comes with the pepper rounds, and these are the core defense rounds. If you don't know what those are, the core defense pepper rounds are pepper rounds that have got a steel ball at the center. So when they hit, it causes it to rupture and go all directions instead of just hitting and falling like some pepper rounds do. It comes with some kinetic rounds, and it comes with some practice pepper rounds, which are basically, and those are the core defense practice pepper rounds. So same basic deal, except instead of having the pepper powder in them, you've got like a talcum powder, so you can actually see what your dispersion looks like with them. Super, super cool. All right, guys, look, this is our first video on this, so I'm going to take this out to the field right now and chrono this launcher. We're going to take a couple of different 3.6-ish gram rounds, because I think, let me check this. We'll check it together, guys. So here's the rubber rounds they sent. And for that, believe it or not, I got to steal my batteries back. There we go. Look, they cooperated. Yeah, you can laugh if you want. Yes, I'll go get some more AA's, but all right, hold on. All right. So hang on a second here, guys. Get to kind of watch the back end of this stuff when people steal your batteries, I'll tell you. All right, so we're going to zero out our measurement here. There we go. Let's put it back onto ounces and grams. Okay, so right now, let's zero that out and 0. There we go. Cracking this open, let's see what these actually weigh. So their rubber rounds are weighing in at 3.06 grams. Let's check another one. 3.06 grams. So we're going to say 3.06 grams. That's what these are running. For those wondering, I know for a fact that this is a 685 barrel. but I will verify that with my caliper, assuming it hasn't wandered off my stage as well, which, oh, there it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and caliper these out. And they are at, hold on a second here, exactly 6.85. I couldn't be any more straightforward if you tried. So, 6.85 on the barrel. Now, okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna take these out here. We're gonna load them up and we're gonna put a couple downrange and let's see if it's as cool as it feels, if it's as cool as it looks, and if it's as cool as I think it is. Here we go. All right, folks, so here we are out here on the range. You can see I've got it set up here. Now, these are, since these are 3.06, I wanted to get the closest rounds to this that we actually had that were not these rounds because this is all I've got. So, what I've got is some of the Salt Supply impact rounds. Now, these are what they used to call glass breakers, but they're straight up kinetic rounds. They weigh 3.6 grams, so a little bit more than that actually. It's like 3.64, but 3.6 gram rounds, so we can test those as well. Now, this is where it's gonna get creative. I wanna get good chrono readings on this, so the book says this is gonna chrono out around 19 joules, so that's what we're looking for, is 19 joules out of this. So let's go ahead, we're gonna drop the magazine. This is where it gets cool, guys. Check this out. And I'm gonna bring it up here and load it with you so you can see it. All right, as you can see, guys, you've got a slide down here, just like on the past ones, and you can lock it into place right there. Then you load in your rounds. Now let's see here. This has 6 rounds, so let's see if it'll take all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 rounds. All right, release that, and they are now pressured up against the top. Ready to roll, and we're out of rounds in that bottle. Okay, now, this is where it gets cool. I'm going to test this exactly as, kind of like a burnout. So we're gonna fire first round and check chrono on the first round and see what we get off of it. We know it's gonna be lower because that's the way it works, but we don't know how much lower. That's what we wanna find out. So magazine in, listen to this. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? All right, glasses on. By the way, YouTube, you know we're not doing firearms here, but it ain't gonna matter anyway, but yeah. Okay, get our chrono on here to feet per second. Yeah, I know Luke likes meters per second. He's a meters guy. Me, I'm old school feet, so that's what we're gonna stick with. All right, guys, so what we're gonna try for, and I'll make sure that you are centered up here. I'm gonna try to shoot what the camera can see here again. And that gave an error because it won't measure what my hand obviously is because my hand's not fast enough. Okay. All right, as soon as that's ready, we're gonna give it a shot. Here we go. 2, 1. Okay, let's see if we can get our first shot and we're gonna do a pull. Guys, pay attention to that hammer, okay? And I'll show you why in a minute. Here we go. All right, got a little lower. 352. 349. 34, up, error. Error, man. 340. And we should be out. Let's see if that's it. Yep, that's it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Guys, are you hearing that? I am willing to bet that you're going to get at minimum 3 magazines out of that, easily. Now, here's what I want to test. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to drop the mag, we're going to release the pressure. There is no pressure release. A lot of people might think the hammer would do it, but it actually doesn't, okay? So, we're going to release the pressure and put in a fresh CO2 cartridge. All right, looks like I actually kind of killed all the pressure there anyway. But you heard how many shots that got after that first one, and that was pretty darn good, pretty impressive. Okay, let's get another CO2 in here. Now this CO2, guys, is one of the Umarex branded ones, okay? Just like that one was too. So, all right, we're gonna put the CO2 in, and we're gonna screw this down. But we're gonna do something different this time, guys. You're gonna like this. Let's see if my theory is correct. I've never tried it, so we're gonna find out together. All right, so we're snugging this back down. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and let's use our Salt Supply rounds. Now these are, like I said, 3.6, maybe 3.64, a little bit bigger. Let's get 6 rounds out here. They're great for testing too. You know, I'm thinking that the chrono might respond better to these two because they're white. So let's cross our fingers and see. So, all right, once again, sliding down, locking into place. 6 rounds in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, locked down, just like that. Locked in and ready to go. Now, here's what we're gonna do that's different. Before I put this in, okay, I'm gonna pull this back and see that hammer's gonna move a tiny bit. Now what I wanna do is, all right, now that we got this, the magazine in and the CO2, I'm gonna pull this back just a tiny bit and see if that hammer will come back. See the hammer? I'm gonna see if I can put the hammer back in a locked position. Hold on a second. There we go, so we haven't fired. I have locked it in the back position. You see that, guys? This is not punctured. Okay, so the CO2 has not yet been punctured, but the hammer is back. Now, when you pull the trigger, if you're pulling to puncture at the same time, you've probably got a 9 to 10 pound trigger pull. But when the hammer is back, your trigger pull drops down to like 3 pounds, like really, really light. All right, let's put this on and let's test this again. Now I'm gonna try to hit this chrono again. No promises, but let's see what we get. But hammer's back, unpierced. All right, so let's see if this fires and pierces properly. Here we go. Oh, guys, that's so light. 331, 325, 315. Now keep in mind, guys, these are heavier rounds. 311, 301, error, and we're out. Oh, by the way, guys, look at this. Hold on. This is what they call their glass breaker rounds. So when they hit a solid object, they're literally designed to fracture. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, these are actually kind of nasty. If you were to hit somebody in the head or sternum with something like that, it's just gonna shrapnel. So they're pretty brutal, they really are. So, all right, so you know what we're seeing now with that. You know what we were seeing with the other rounds. You know that now you can carry this with that back. And that trigger pull, guys, when the hammer's up like that, you probably got, I'll test that, but I'm saying 6 pounds, maybe 7. But when that trigger is locked back like that, that's like maybe a pound, maybe a pound. So I would say if I was carrying it on a day-to-day basis, I would probably carry with that trigger, with the hammer back like that. Just keep in mind that when you do that, you got to make sure that you're conscious of your trigger because it's real easy to pull it at that point. Now, I will say that you do have a very long trigger pull. So guys, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to turn sideways here so you guys can see this. There we go. So the long trigger pull, we're going to pull it back, 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 back. See there? Right there. That's where it is. Okay? Just like that. So same thing when you pull it. It's just a heavier trigger. Pretty cool, right? Oh yeah. Let's go back in the office and chat it up about this. Now guys, you know me. I get excited about new launchers, and I do, because any new launcher in this game is a good launcher, right? I mean, I love it. Any new additions. This is revolutionary. This took the best of everything we wanted and added it into one launcher. And there's a kicker to this. Everybody out there, and I mean all of you, know that Umarex launchers have an inherent ability to be upgraded and modified and power juiced. This is cranking out right at 19 joules like they advertise, right out of the box, right out of the box. There are no questions about it. It is exactly what they advertised. Which means to me that there is going to be some upgradability on this. And I got to tell you, I did a little bit of a partial teardown on this. It is in some ways a lot easier than an HTP 50. And a lot of you guys that know me know how easy an HTP 50 is. This one is actually a little bit easier. Now, I'm gonna have to get in here and check out the valve, see if there's a block in there. I don't even know yet, but we're gonna find out. But can you imagine, now even at 19 joules, this is a very effective launcher. Now you can either use the kinetic rounds or you can use those pepper rounds, which would be my option, because the pepper rounds weigh as much as the kinetic rounds, so you're gonna get double damage. You're gonna get the kinetic damage and you're gonna get the explosion for gas. A very effective launcher as is. I can't wait to see where it goes. I really can't. Now, side note for you, these are in stock. By the time this video drops, they will be on the website. Oh, did I mention? They're like 220 bucks. You heard me right. They're cheaper by far than our Pistol. Even though they're shooting lower power, they're a lot lower price. and they've got a pull to puncture like our friends over at Byrna do. But unlike Byrna, they're at a higher power. So this is your middle ground at half the price. Did I tell you guys it was awesome, or did I tell you it was awesome? So they are in stock now. Now, anybody that buys these, at least until I run out of them, Luke has already designed the belt hidden holster, the concealed holster for this. And if you're wondering what it looks like, I just happen to have one on one right there. That's right. That is the holster to go inside the belt line. Everybody who orders one of these is getting one of these for free till we run out of them. For free. That's my gift to you guys on a brand new release. They will be available the second this video drops. Don't miss it, guys. I love new launchers. And I got another one I can't tell you about too, but this is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you about this sooner. I really, really wanted to, but I got a lot waiting for you guys, and I'm thinking these are going to make awesome Christmas presents. I'm just saying. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.